Amina hit the pavement so hard her palms burned, but she didn't dare stop. Behind her, footsteps thundered, sharp and heavy, bouncing against the narrow sole alley. Someone shouted in Korean, angry, "Close, too close." She didn't need to understand the words to know what they meant. Run. Her lungs burned and her braids slapped against her back as she dodged a pile of trash bags and stumbled past a row of tightly shut street stalls. Neon signs flickered overhead like broken warnings. She risked one look back. 2 men in black suits. Moving fast. No hesitation. No mercy. Amina choked on her breath. She didn't mean to see anything. She didn't mean to hear anything. She didn't even know what the hell she had stumbled into. She had only wanted to finish her shift, go home, and get some sleep. That was all. But now. Her shoulder slammed into a metal gate and pain shot down her arm. She hissed, spun, and darted down another alley. Left. Right. Anywhere. The footsteps grew louder. She whispered, barely audible even to herself, "I didn't mean to see it. I didn't mean to." She slipped on damp concrete, caught herself, and kept running. A spotlight-like beam from a passing scooter swept the alley. For a moment Amina saw her own reflection in a window, wide terrified eyes, apron still tied around her waist, shirt stained from the drink she spilled earlier. The normal, gentle version of her felt a million miles away. She turned sharply into a narrow backstreet and froze. Dead end. No, 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 no. She spun around just as the 2 men appeared at the mouth of the alley. The taller one, the one with the calm eyes, slowed first. His suit was immaculate even now, while she was trembling like a trapped animal. He tilted his head, studying her. A cruel kind of curiosity. The second man strode up behind him, breathing hard, jaw tight. He cracked his knuckles like he'd been waiting all night for an excuse. Amina backed up until her spine hit cold metal. The calm-eyed man said something low in Korean. His partner smirked and rolled his shoulders. Amina's breath hitched. Then. Black screen. The story began hours earlier. 6 hours before the chase, the cheerful bell above the diner door jingled and Amina slid a plate of kimchi fried rice onto the counter. "Order up," she called with her usual tired but still standing enthusiasm. The night shift wasn't easy, but she'd taken it. Seoul was expensive, and she needed every extra one she could get. Rent. Books. Food. Nothing fancy, just survival. The diner, though old and a little greasy, treated her well enough. And usually, the late-night crowd consisted of drunk students, gig workers, and dusty taxi drivers. But tonight was different. Her co-worker, Mr. Han, shuffled past her carrying a pot of broth. "Finish soon." "Quiet night," he murmured. "Quiet is good," she said, wiping down a table. "I need quiet." Mr. Han chuckled. "You always need quiet." "Because I never get it," she countered. And right on cue, the diner door opened again. 2 men entered. Amina noticed immediately. Everyone would notice them. They didn't look like the usual customers. Not even close. Both tall, both in black tailored suits, both walking with a confidence that made space part around them. Power. That was the only word she could think of. One had a sharp, composed face, hair styled neatly, expression unreadable. His eyes scanned the diner like he was memorizing exits. The other's expression was harder, rougher. Like someone who enjoyed violence a little too much. He cracked his neck as he walked and sat with the kind of posture that said he didn't care about anyone or anything. Amina grabbed 2 menus and approached their booth, ignoring the way her stomach tightened. "Good evening," she said softly. "What can I get you?" The composed one lifted a hand. "No menus," he said in perfect, unaccented English. "Just coffee." His partner snorted. "Strong," he added. His voice was gravel. Amina nodded quickly. "Okay. 2 coffees." She hurried away, but she couldn't ignore it. Something in the air had shifted the moment they entered. A wait. A warning. While she prepared their drinks, she heard them speaking in Korean, voices low, serious, rhythmic, like a coded argument. She didn't understand every word, but she caught pieces. Shipment. Witness. Clean up. Her chest tightened. She set the coffees down gently, not wanting to tremble, but her hand shook anyway. The calm one looked up at her, eyes locking onto hers. "Thank you," he said smoothly. She forced a smile and walked away, but curiosity burned at her. She'd seen dangerous men before, but nothing like them. She wasn't supposed to listen. She knew better. But when a courier entered the diner with a small black envelope and handed it to the men, Amina froze behind the kitchen door, listening through the crack. The calm one opened the envelope. Inside was a flash drive. He whispered something Amina didn't catch. Then the courier spoke. Too loudly. Too urgently. The calm one's jaw tightened. And the rough one stood. Amina covered her mouth as he pulled a silenced gun and shot the courier once, quick, clean, cold. The man hit the ground with a dull thud. Amina gasped. Too loud. The calm man's eyes snapped toward the kitchen. Toward her. He blinked slowly. She saw everything. Time stopped. Amina's heartbeat drowned out the world. Mr. Han grabbed her wrist from behind. Go. Back door, he whispered urgently. Now. Don't look back. But she did look back one last time. The calm man's eyes stayed on her the entire moment. Calculating. Cold. Certain. Then Amina bolted. The two men who chased her now stood only a few feet away in the alley. Rain began to sprinkle lightly, tapping the metal trash cans beside her like a countdown. The calmer one stepped forward. Don't run anymore, he said quietly. Amina shook her head violently. Please. I didn't see anything. I swear. That's a lie, the other barked. I won't tell anyone, she blurted. I don't even know what I saw. I don't. You saw a man die, the calm one interrupted. And you heard too much. That makes you a problem. I'm not a problem, she whispered. I'm nobody. He studied her again. Then he sighed softly. Come with us. Don't make this harder. No. His eyebrow lifted in the slightest hint of disappointment. The rough one cracked his knuckles. I'll drag her, he muttered. Don't, the calm one said without looking at him. She'll come. Amina shook her head again, backing into the wall. I won't. They took a step toward her. Amina shut her eyes. A car screeched behind them. A black van. The sliding door yanked open. Strong hands grabbed her. She screamed. And the world went dark as she was pulled inside. Amina hit the van floor so hard the impact knocked the air out of her lungs. The door slammed shut behind her, plunging everything into darkness except for a thin stripe of streetlight leaking through cracks in the metal. Her pulse hammered in her ears. Someone's hand pressed against her back, forcing her down. Stop struggling, a voice said. Calm. Cold. Him. The van lurched forward, throwing her sideways. Amina clawed at the floor, desperate for something to hold on to as panic choked her. Let me go, she gasped, pushing herself up only for a rough shove to knock her down again. Lie still, the rougher man growled. Before you make me. Don't touch her, the calm one snapped. His tone didn't rise, but it sliced through the van like a blade. The rough one scoffed. She ran. I'm just making sure she doesn't again. Don't touch her, the calm one repeated. Silence. A tense, heavy silence. Amina rolled onto her side, pressing her shaking hands against the cool metal floor. Her braid had come undone, hair falling over her face. She pushed it back only for it to fall again. Where are you taking me? She whispered. No answer. The van sped through sharp turns. Streetlights flickered through the cracks like short bursts of hope vanishing too quickly. Amina swallowed hard. Please. I didn't do anything. You witnessed something, the calm one said finally. That means you're involved. I didn't ask to be involved. Nobody ever does. She felt the vehicle slow, then turn abruptly before rolling to a stop. The hum of an expensive gate opening buzzed faintly through the metal. Amina curled inward, bracing herself. The calm one spoke quietly. Don't run when the doors open. I'm not stupid, she snapped. The rough one chuckled. Debatable. The calm man ignored him. If you run, you'll be dead before you reach the curb. The sliding door opened. Bright lights flooded the interior. Amina shielded her eyes. The calm man stepped out first. His silhouette framed by the glow looked impossibly composed, suit pristine even after chasing her through dirty alleys. The rougher man followed, motioning impatiently for her to move. Amina pushed herself out of the van, legs shaking beneath her. The moment her feet touched polished concrete, she froze. They weren't in some dark basement or warehouse. They were in the underground garage of a luxurious high-rise. Sleek black cars lined the walls. Security cameras turned like watching eyes. Everything screamed wealth and danger. The rough man nudged her shoulder. "Move." She jerked away, glaring weakly at him, but her fear made any defiance feel paper-thin. The calm one took the lead, walking toward an elevator. Amina followed because she didn't have a choice. Every step felt like walking toward something irreversible. Inside the elevator, he pressed the top floor button. Amina's heart dropped as the doors slid shut. Her reflection in the metal walls looked ghostly pale. The calm man stood beside her with his hands behind his back. The rough one leaned against the corner like he wanted a fight just to relieve boredom. Amina licked her dry lips. What are your names?" The calm one turned his head just enough to regard her. "You don't need to know. But you know mine." "Yes." "How?" He didn't answer. The elevator chimed softly as it reached its destination. The doors opened to an opulent penthouse hall. Dark marble floors. Soft lighting. Everything pristine and silent. Amina hesitated. The calm one glanced back at her. Inside. She stepped in. The penthouse was breathtaking, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the glittering Seoul skyline, expensive furniture, shelves lined with art pieces. But beneath the beauty was something colder. It felt curated. Controlled. Like nothing here was meant for comfort, only for power. "Sit," the calm one instructed, gesturing to a chair. Amina stayed standing. "No." The rough one smirked. "Cute." "Sit," the calm one repeated, voice soft, but final. Amina Saturday. He removed his suit jacket and draped it neatly over a chair, rolling up his sleeves with precise movements. It was almost unnerving how calm he remained, as if kidnapping were part of his daily routine. "Let's start with the basics," he said. "Name." "You already know it," she muttered. "I want to hear you say it." "Amina." "Age." 22. "Occupation." "Waitress." "And student." Her voice cracked, humiliation and fear mixing. The rough man leaned against a column, arms folded. "Not anymore." Amina flinched. "Why are you doing this to me?" The calm one sat across from her, crossing his legs. "Because you saw something you shouldn't have. And because you heard something that was never meant for outside ears." "I don't even understand Korean that well," she insisted. "I didn't understand most of what you said." "You understood enough." She shook her head. "I swear I won't tell anyone." "That's the problem," he said. "We don't trust promises." "Then let me go," she whispered. "No." Her eyes burned. "Are you going to kill me?" The rough one smirked. "Not tonight." "Daesung," the calm man warned sharply. So that was his name. Daesung rolled his eyes but backed off. Amina looked at the calm man again. "And you? What should I call you?" He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he took out the same black flash drive she'd seen earlier and placed it on the table between them. "Ji-hwan," he finally said. "If names make this easier for you." Ji-hwan. The name felt too normal for someone so dangerous. He tapped the flash drive lightly. "Everything you shouldn't have witnessed is connected to this." Then why not destroy it?" she asked quietly. "Because information is power. And power is leverage." Her stomach twisted. Daesung snorted. "She's shaking so much the chair's vibrating." Amina glared at him despite her fear. "Shut up." Daesung straightened, fury flashing across his face. "What did you just?" Ji-hwan raised a hand. Daesung stopped mid-step. Amina had never seen anything like it. Ji-hwan didn't yell, didn't threaten. He simply lifted his hand and a violent man obeyed. That was real power. "You're safe here," Ji-hwan said. "No, I'm not," she shot back. "Safer than outside. Other groups will kill you faster than we would." "That doesn't make me feel better." "It isn't meant to." He stood abruptly and walked to the window, hands in his pockets. His reflection in the glass looked like someone carved from stone. "You'll stay here for now," he said. "Until we decide what to do with you." Amina stood too quickly, the chair screeching. "I'm not staying in some Mafia hotel room." Daesung laughed. She said it. Ji-hwan turned slightly. "You don't have a choice. If you walk out that door, You'll be dead before you reach the elevator. Amina's chin quivered. Why me? Ji-hwan finally looked at her fully. His gaze was sharp, calculating, but there was something else, something unreadable. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time, he said softly. And now fate has chosen a very inconvenient path for you. Amina's breath trembled. Ji-hwan stepped closer. You can scream if you want. You can cry. None of that changes your reality. I want to go home, she whispered. You don't have a home anymore, Daesung said. Her legs nearly buckled. Ji-hwan's voice softened unexpectedly. Sit. You're shaking. No, she whispered, voice cracking. You need to rest. No. The tension snapped when Amina stumbled back, hitting the table. The flash drive slid slightly. Ji-hwan noticed. His gaze sharpened. He stepped toward her. She stepped back. And her heel hit something. A bag. A duffel bag. Not hers. Daesung stiffened. Hey, don't. But it was too late. Amina had unzipped it. Inside were stacks of money, weapons, and files with pictures of men she'd never seen before, men with their eyes crossed out. A hit list. She staggered back. Ji-hwan exhaled through his nose. This is why I didn't want you touching anything. Amina's knees weakened. What are you going to do to me? Ji-hwan walked toward her slowly, measured steps, calculated. Her back hit the wall. His voice dropped to a chilling whisper. Whatever I have to. Amina pressed herself against the wall, fingers trembling as Ji-hwan approached with slow, deliberate steps. His expression wasn't violent. That would have been easier to handle. Instead, it was calm, almost emotionless. Cold control was far more terrifying. Daesung shifted his weight behind him, cracking his knuckles like he was hoping she'd make a run for it so he'd have an excuse. Ji-hwan stopped just inches away from her. He didn't touch her. He didn't need to. His presence alone was suffocating. You weren't supposed to see inside that bag, he said. I didn't mean to, she whispered. I know. Then why are you? He cut her off. Because intentions don't matter. Consequences do. Her breathing stuttered. So what now? Are you going to kill me? Daesung shrugged casually. Would make life easier. Not necessarily, Ji-hwan murmured. Amina swallowed hard. What does that mean? It means, he took a step back, giving her space as if it were a gift. You're complicated. Killing witnesses is simple. But you, he studied her again, like she was a puzzle with an unexpected solution. You've already tangled yourself deeper than you realize. I didn't tangle myself, she snapped, the edge of fear sharpening into anger. You dragged me. Ji-hwan ignored her outburst and retrieved the flash drive from the table. He turned it in his fingers thoughtfully. This drive contains information people are willing to die for. Or kill for. His gaze lifted to her. If I'm correct, another faction is already hunting it. Amina stiffened. So then what do I have to do with it? Everything now. Because you saw the courier die and you saw the drive exchanged. He stepped closer again. Meaning if our enemies find you, they'll assume you have it. Daesung smirked. They'll torture her for it. Amina's lips parted in horror. Ji-hwan shot Daesung a warning glare before looking back at her. Which means I can't release you. For your sake and ours. And what if I become a problem for you? She asked shakily. His eyes hardened, but his voice stayed quiet. Then I deal with it. Her heart pounded violently. Ji-hwan looked toward the windows as if sensing something invisible. Daesung, check the perimeter cameras. Daesung scoffed. Paranoid? Ji-hwan's tone dropped. Now. Something in his voice made even the brute obey. Daesung walked off toward the security room, grumbling under his breath. Amina took the moment of distance to breathe, even if it was shaky. Why am I still alive? Ji-hwan considered her for a long moment. Because I haven't decided what your role is yet. I don't want a role, she cried. A shame, he said quietly. You already have one. Her breath hitched. He continued, tell me something, Amina. Do you believe in coincidence? She frowned. What? Coincidence, he repeated softly. Do you think you happened to overhear us at random? What are you talking about? He stepped closer again, lowering his voice. That courier, the one who delivered the drive. He wasn't supposed to go to the diner. He wasn't supposed to choose that place. He wasn't supposed to be anywhere near you. Amina stared blankly. So, Ji-hwan said, someone directed him there. Her stomach twisted violently. You think I'm involved? Are you crazy? I don't even know any. I don't think you're involved, he cut in. I think someone wants me to think you are. That makes no sense. Does it? He murmured. Amina's knees weakened. Why would anyone do that? I don't know, he said. Not yet. Dae-sung's voice suddenly echoed from the security room. Ah! Ji-hwan. Ji-hwan's brow furrowed. What is it? You better see this. They walked to the security monitors, Amina trailing closely, fear overriding all sense. Dae-sung tapped a screen. A camera feed showed the lobby of the building. 3 men in dark coats stood there. Not their men. Strangers. Armed. Amina's breath hitched. Oh my God. Ji-hwan's expression sharpened. They're early. Who? Amina demanded, voice trembling. Who are they? Another faction, he said calmly. They want the drive. And probably you. She stumbled back, hitting the wall. Why would they want me? I don't have anything. You're a loose end, Dae-sung said bluntly. And some people like tying up loose ends violently, Ji-hwan added. The strangers looked up at the camera as if they could see through it. Amina whimpered. Ji-hwan turned to her. You're staying here. Do not leave this floor. Like I want to, she cried. Dae-sung checked his gun. Should I take care of them? Not yet, Ji-hwan said. Let's see what their intentions are first. What if their intention is to kill us? Dae-sung asked, grinning darkly. Then, Ji-hwan replied, you can have your fun. Amina backed away from both of them. So what? You're going to fight? Right here. Now. Ji-hwan's calm gaze shifted back to her. This isn't new for us. Well, it's new for me, she snapped. I'm not used to people getting shot in front of me. You'll adapt, Dae-sung said with a shrug. No, I won't. I'm not like you. Ji-hwan stepped closer. You don't have to be like us. You only have to stay alive. That's not comforting. Wasn't meant to be, he said simply. She pressed her trembling hands against her forehead. Please. I don't want this. I don't want any of this. Ji-hwan's expression softened by a fraction, barely noticeable unless you were looking for it. Amina. She looked up slowly. You have 2 choices, he said. Stay where I can protect you. Or take your chances with the people downstairs. But you're the reason they're after me in the first place. True, Ji-hwan said. But I'm also the only reason you're still breathing. Dae-sung smirked. He's got a point. Amina felt tears pool at the corners of her eyes, but she blinked them back stubbornly. She refused to break in front of them. A sudden loud bang echoed through the speakers. Someone tried to force the lobby door. Dae-sung grinned wickedly. Showtime. Ji-hwan's voice turned sharp. Positions. Then he looked at her one last time. Stay here. Don't move. For once, she whispered bitterly, I'll listen. Dae-sung rushed out of the room with gun drawn. Ji-hwan followed at a slower pace, but every movement was clean, calculated, deadly precise. Amina stood frozen, staring at the monitors. One of the intruders turned and looked directly into the camera again, as if he knew she was watching. She stumbled back, heartbeat racing. She didn't know what was worse, the men invading the building, or the men protecting her. A loud gunshot cracked through the penthouse floors. The screens flickered. Amina sank to the floor, clasping her hands over her mouth. I shouldn't be here, she whispered. I should have just gone home. I should have. Another gunshot echoed. Then shouting. She curled tighter, trembling violently. Then, footsteps. Heavy. Fast. Coming toward her. Amina braced herself. But it wasn't one of the intruders. Ji-hwan appeared in the doorway, hair slightly out of place, breathing harder than before. Get up, he said firmly. She pushed herself up shakily. What happened? Are they? We don't have time. He grabbed her wrist, not painfully, just firmly enough to pull her to her feet. They're coming up. What? You said you could protect. I am, he said sharply. But I need you to move. She stumbled after him. Where are we going? A safer room. Safe. Nothing here is safe. Dae-sung appeared behind them, eyes wild with adrenaline. I took one down. 2 more coming up. Elevator locked but they're forcing it. Amina gasped. Ji-hwan pulled her faster. Hurry. Amina's breath shook. Why won't they leave me alone? Because, Ji-hwan said, you are in this now whether you want to be or not. Ji-hwan pulled Amina through a narrow hallway, one she hadn't even noticed earlier. It looked like a dead end, but he pressed his palm against a panel on the wall. A hidden door slid open, revealing a narrow staircase descending into dim light. Hurry, he ordered. Amina hesitated. Where does this go? Somewhere they won't find you. Dae-sung shoved past them. I'll hold the hallway. Move. Amina jumped at the aggression but followed Ji-hwan down the stairs. Her legs burned, her breath coming in desperate gasps. The sounds above them grew louder, footsteps, shouting, the metallic crash of something heavy being forced open. She nearly tripped, but Ji-hwan steadied her with a hand on her back. Careful, he murmured. Easy for you to say, she panted. You're not the one being hunted. I've been hunted my whole life, he replied. You get used to it. She stopped short. I never want to get used to it. Ji-hwan turned, looking at her with an unreadable expression. No one wants to. But here we are. The pounding footsteps above grew closer. Amina flinched. Please tell me this place is solid. Please tell me they can't break in. They won't, Ji-hwan said. The entrance seals from the inside. Her breath hitched. But what about Dae-sung? He can take care of himself. And if he can't, she whispered. Ji-hwan didn't answer. The hidden room at the bottom looked like a fortified panic bunker, reinforced steel walls, a surveillance setup, a medical kit, and a few crates. It wasn't comforting. It felt like a cage. Ji-hwan closed the door and the panel slid shut seamlessly. Amina immediately ran to the surveillance monitors. Dae-sung stood in the hallway, aiming down the corridor. His stance was confident, almost too relaxed. Amina swallowed hard. He's alone out there. It's better if only one of us stays exposed, Ji-hwan said. A loud explosion shook the hallway on the screen. Smoke filled the top floor. Amina jumped. Oh my God. Ji-hwan's jaw tightened. They brought explosives. Of course they did. The smoke cleared enough to show silhouettes, 2 men advancing on Dae-sung. He didn't back down. He laughed like he'd been waiting for this. Amina covered her mouth. He's going to die. He won't, Ji-hwan said, but even he sounded unsure. Dae-sung fired. One intruder fell. But the other fired back, hitting Dae-sung square in the shoulder. Amina screamed. Ji-hwan moved instantly, reaching for the door panel. Amina grabbed his arm. No. You'll get killed. I don't get killed, Ji-hwan said coldly. I kill. But Amina stepped in front of the panel, shaking her head, tears rolling down her cheeks. You can't save him if you die too. He stared at her for 3 agonizing seconds. She stared back, trembling but unyielding. Another explosion rocked the hallway. The remaining intruder was forcing his way closer to Dae-sung, who knelt on one knee, clutching his wound but refusing to fall. Amina's voice broke. Ji-hwan, please, think. You need a plan. His chest rose and fell in a sharp breath. Then, shockingly, he nodded. She blinked. Wait, you're listening to me? Don't make me regret it, he muttered. He went to another panel in the room, this one on the far wall. He slid it open, revealing 2 sleek rifles and a console of control switches. Amina stared at them. What is all that? Remote security, he said. This room controls certain defenses in the building. He flipped a switch. On the screen, metal barriers slammed down around the hallway, sealing the intruder in with Dae-sung. The man whirled around, startled. Amina clapped a hand over her mouth. Did you just trap him? Ji-hwan didn't answer. He flipped another switch. The captured intruder looked up, just as automatic ceiling turrets dropped down. Amina turned away before the blasts began. When the screen stabilized, the intruder was down. Dae-sung was still alive, though bleeding dangerously. Open a path, Ji-hwan said to himself. He flipped more switches. The metal barriers lifted. Amina watched in horror as Dae-sung dragged himself against the wall, trying to stay conscious. We need to go to him, she said urgently. We need to help him. He'll survive long enough for me to bring him in, Ji-hwan replied, grabbing a compact med kit. Stay here. No, she said immediately. I'm coming with you. Amina. If you leave me alone again, I'll lose my mind. His jaw tightened, clearly weighing the risk. Finally, he gave a short nod. Stay behind me. They climbed the stairs. Smoke hung in the hall like a heavy fog. Alarms blared sharply. The scent of metal, dust, and burnt fabric filled the air. Amina's heart hammered at the sight of the destruction. Ji-hwan moved with swift precision, stepping over debris toward Dae-sung. Dae-sung looked up, smirking through the pain. Took you long enough. Ji-hwan knelt beside him. Shut up. Amina knelt too, voice shaking. Does it hurt? It's a gunshot wound, Dae-sung groaned. What do you think? Ji-hwan cleaned the wound quickly, wrapping it with military precision. Dae-sung winced but stayed conscious. Amina held Dae-sung's uninjured hand without thinking. You're not allowed to die. He raised a brow weakly. Since when do you care? I don't, she said too quickly. I just don't want to watch anyone else get hurt because of me. Dae-sung snorted softly. You've got fire. I like that. Ji-hwan cut in sharply. Enough. We're leaving. Amina stood, helping Ji-hwan pull Dae-sung up. The three moved slowly down the hall. Ji-hwan supported most of Dae-sung's weight. They reached the hidden stairs again. But before going down, Amina looked at Ji-hwan. What happens now? She asked. Am I still a target? Yes. How long? Until this is over, he said simply. And how long until it's over? He didn't answer. Amina felt cold dread sweep over her. So, I'm stuck with you. Ji-hwan met her gaze. Yes. That wasn't a question, she muttered. Dae-sung chuckled weakly. Welcome to the family, princess. I'm not joining your Mafia family. Too late, he said faintly. Amina glared at both of them. No. 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 I want my life back. Ji-hwan looked at her, and something in his expression softened again. Just slightly. We'll get you back to your life, he said quietly. But right now, survival comes first. They descended into the bunker again. Amina exhaled shakily, adrenaline still coursing through her. She sank onto a chair while Ji-hwan treated Dae-sung more thoroughly, his movements quick but controlled. She closed her eyes for a moment, trying to steady her breathing. Then her phone buzzed. She froze. It was impossible, she thought she'd lost it earlier. She pulled it out of her pocket with trembling fingers. A text message. Unknown number. The message read, "We know where you are. And we're coming." Amina dropped the phone. Ji-hwan's head snapped toward her. What is it? She pointed with a shaking hand. They texted me. Ji-hwan grabbed the phone, brows pulling tight. Dae-sung smirked bitterly. Looks like the fun isn't over yet. Ji-hwan turned to Amina. Amina, he said, and for the first time, he sounded almost gentle. They're coming for you. But they'll have to go through me first. She swallowed hard. Her voice soft, scared, but steady. Then I guess I'm not going anywhere. Ji-hwan nodded. Good. The camera zoomed in on the bunker door as faint footsteps echoed from above. Then, black. Subscribe, like, and comment if you want part 2, the narrator whispered. Because this is only the beginning.